All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having yourselves a strong start to your AM. Happy Thursday. And yeah, hope you guys are feeling good, feeling refreshed, recharged, and ready to go. And hopefully, right, we can have ourselves a really strong trading day here today and kind of get back to a nice little bout of volatility. So curious to see what markets have in store for us here today. Still relatively under the weather, which is driving me insane. I don't know when I'm gonna start to feel a little bit better, but hopefully we can get ourselves some nice clean action here today. Post nice data, right? So we were waiting for this data kind of all week by the looks of it, and finally, right, we are ready to hopefully go. So excited. And yeah, I've been doing all those things. I think I have one of the new COVID variants. So I'm kind of just eating shit until until that's sorted. So regardless, let's start mapping things out here this morning. Let's figure out what we want to do, and then let's go from there. Hopefully, a little bit of a, I don't know, less bullshit trading day today would be really nice. And let's get after it. So, first things first, here on the index, we're looking at a 3 for 3 here to the upside. Again, kind of feels like a deja vu to yesterday, right? Yesterday, we had technically a 3 for 3. We had that quote unquote nice momentum or whatever you want to call it, but we kind of saw it as like a choppy backdrop. We were correct in that assessment, but maybe not as aggressive as we should have been in not trading it. So I do want to be a little bit deliberate, probably is the better term here this morning, right? Just be really focused. Like, yeah, yesterday maybe wasn't the most enjoyable P&L day, but if we focus on our variables, we're still very much just one trade away from being green. And so managing those expectations is really, really important. I think the hardest thing to do as a trader, right, when you have a losing day, is to basically, or to have a losing trade even, is to not like over panic or overcorrect, right, on a red day. Red days happen to everybody. It's something you can't run away from. So we can't force that. We have to really focus on being deliberate, controlling our variables. And if we do, we'll make our money. If we don't, then we'll make our problems worse and worse and worse. So today is a day about being disciplined, about being structured, about controlling the variables we can control. And then from there, we should be in a really good position. Same thing like yesterday, though, right? It's a week 3 for 3. And it's hard to say that this is like a trending market. Really hard to say that it's a trending market. So I would probably expect chop until proven otherwise here today. We're going to get rid of these lines. And maybe kind of like your trend line support kind of looks like this, right? Maybe something along those lines. So kind of a grindy, trendy move here higher. And we're going to say ORB fake out at the trend line. Then breakout. So if we find support off the trend line, right, long term, we'd be okay. And we're targeting a move towards 65.60. I think 65.70 still remains pretty reasonable. Should get taken care of by the indicator, and then we've got it mapped out. To the upside here, we could low 65, or sorry, to the downside, 65.40. And then again, we could break down from there. All right. NQ, very indecisive, right? Relative. Red candle, increasing volume. Gap up. So it's a doji. It's technically a 2 out of 3 to the downside with volume, but it's a higher high, higher low. Still got bullish characteristics. We'll call this a weak. You're saying indecision, right? And so we're looking, fake out towards 24.1, still not changing from that perspective. And then to the downside, we're looking at 800. So again, not changing from that perspective. Okay. CL, big dump here this pre-market. Very impressive selling pressure. Big concern there, right? It's just making sure that we don't use that 5% of room. So our limit here to the downside today is going to be 61. So we're pretty capped on what we can do from a limit perspective, right? And then to the upside, this would be a mean reversion type setup. And sorry, just to clarify, so 1 for 3. And so mean reversion, we'd be looking back up towards 64. And let's see how it goes. Oh, excuse me. All right. Apple, 2 out of 3 with volume to the downside. Tesla, yeah, same thing. 2 out of 3 with volume. Microsoft, red candle, weak red candle. Again, at least it's a more consistent story. Amazon, big gap up. Again, 2 out of 3 to the downside with volume. So our leading names probably telling us more trending to the downside versus to the upside. Impressed with NVIDIA continuing to gap up here, 3 for 3. AMD, 3 for 3 to the downside now. Meta, 2 out of 3 to the downside with volume. Netflix, technically a gap up. We'll call this a 2.5. Just because, 29 cents or whatever it is nothing on a $1,200 stock. And then Google, green candle, decreasing volume, gap down. So 1 for 3 to the upside. So not exactly a strong indication of trending PA pretty much anywhere this morning, right? It's not to the upside, maybe a little bit of an easier to the downside narrative, which would be then what we're looking for as like a fake out, all-time high fake out, right? And then breakdown, something along those lines. That would be effectively what we're going for here. And that's going to be the same here across the board. I guess the biggest concern or the biggest thing for us to worry about or to watch out for is just that the move has happened here overnight, kind of like yesterday where we got like a little bit of an open, some small movements, right, in the first like 45 minutes, and then price action stalled, right, for the next hour and a half. So when you're choosing to trade the next contract, you want to make sure that it has more volume than the previous. So all you do, right, is you search up ES and you're looking at the September, right? So we're looking at ESU 2025 and its daily volume here yesterday was 1.33. So then you search up the December contract. So it should be ESZ, I think. And that had yesterday 19.9 contracts. So not nearly enough. I would think that you're going to get, so the roll officially, right, starts on, I think, Tuesday. So Monday, Tuesday next week are going to be the days where you want to switch over to rolling the December contract. But for now, there's more volume still on September. Any questions here this morning, team? How's everyone feeling? All right, good. So we got a couple minutes here till market open. Let's see how the day sort of shapes up here, or how it comes together. And yeah, let's get after it. Let's have ourselves a strong session. All right. All right, so we got 2 minutes to market open, guys. I'm just gonna go grab myself some of my medicine. I'll be back in a minute. Just bear with me, please. All right, so let's get after it here, team. And yeah, let's have ourselves a heck of a day. Probably not expecting it to be a super busy open. Like, I don't know if I'm expecting it to be like pure chaos to start the session off. I'd maybe be a little bit surprised by that. So let's be a bit patient here. Let's see where enthusiasm basically shows up. Make sure volume profiles are consistent, and then go from there. You know, yesterday, I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch the video I posted about the trading day. Basically, there might be an opportunity for us to basically introduce a third entry technique here, which is basically just a conservative approach. You know, looking back on some of the trades there yesterday, looking back on some of the trades from even early August, that was a uh pretty interesting kind of pattern to potentially notice. I posted it in the daily recap yesterday. So today being September 11th, I think historically September 11th is a pretty bullish day for markets in general. It's pretty unpatriotic, I guess, right, to be bearish, but I wouldn't overthink that too much. When was the last September 11th? This is the last one. Or it's not showing me. Oh, whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I wouldn't worry about that too much. Yeah, let's see how the day shapes up. Let's see where momentum creeps in here. And if we can be aggressive, cool. If not, we'll be pretty chill here today. And we'll see how things come together. Again, right? We get paid for our decisions, not our time. So let's be very deliberate, right, with what the types of trades we're willing to take and the action we're willing to trade. pretty small opening range, right? Very small, 30 points on NQ, pretty tight. 7.5 is a little bit better on ES. And then on crude, 12 cents. Okay, that's a little bit more interesting. This is for sure setting up as a mean reversion type opportunity, which would be, you know, my Bollinger Bands. Don't use those too often anymore, but worth keeping an eye out. Yeah, relatively indecisive open. Yeah, I mean, very sad day yesterday. Very, very sad day. But I don't think markets will care, truth be told, Logan. If it was Warren Buffett got uh killed at a scenario like that, maybe a little bit of a different scenario. But unfortunately, I think markets won't give a shit. All right, so again, going to be pretty patient here to start the session off. Kind of weird because next week is going to be the futures roll, or that's going to be the primary story, you know, Monday, Tuesday. I'd be very surprised if those are particularly tradable days. Futures roll day ends up being usually pretty crappy. Just because you can't trust the volume, right? Because you're forced to buy one contract to the other. And so oftentimes you'll see really big volume profiles that aren't necessarily an indication of momentum. Funny, well, maybe not funny. The thing that I was thinking about the most last night, um, before I went on my holiday, someone complained to me that the stream is too mega. I was very, very surprised by that comment. I don't think I'm particularly political in here. Like my politics are about making money. That's really all I care about. And found it very yeah, I was just thinking a lot about what that person would have said about saying, "Oh, poor Charlie Kirk." Yeah, definitely two Eagles. I can take that as feedback for sure. A little bit too much of that equal or too much propaganda. But yeah, I hope it's yeah, not controversial to think that just because you like someone or you don't like someone's like views politically, don't think it's fair that they should be killed, right? That's yeah, I don't know. Color me conservative, I guess, if that's what that means. Yeah, really, really sad. Like, guys, I'm Canadian, so like, yeah, it's not really fair for me to comment too much on American politics in general, anyway. But yeah, I agree. It's I don't know. Yeah, I was talking to my friends about this last night too. For whatever reason, this feels a bit like a I don't know, maybe like a turning point or um Like, even comparing it to when the Trump assassination attempt occurred, this feels very different. It feels more significant almost. It's almost yeah. So I don't know. Something feels weird about it. All things considered, we are possibly getting up a yeah, and you know what? It was a person whose platform was built on having uncomfortable conversations. Right? He was willing to have very public, uncomfortable conversations, and that feels very backwards to punish that, or for that to cost someone their life. It feels very strange. All right, so we do have a really good setup here, guys, to the downside. I'd be targeting just 900 here. Just keep it simple. So this is a short setup here, right? Stop would be 952 on the aggressive technique, and reference price would be effectively the same here as that green line. Might be going without me here. So reference price would be 940. So you're looking at 11 points of risk. Not sure we're going to get that move to happen here now. Might be running away without us. If that's the case, maybe setting up here on the 5 min. Actually, still might be in play here on the 3. So I am watching closely. 951 would be the stop. About 952 to keep the math simple. Well, yeah, but it's okay to say ignorant things. Like, everyone says ignorant things on both sides. It should not cost you your life, especially not in such a horrifically public way. Gosh, man, this guy's kids were there. That's so disgusting. So let's watch here. This is possibly setting up for us. All right, guys. So I'm in 942.75, 942.75, 2 contracts. Stop at 952. Short, right? In short. A little bit sticky early. 942.75, 942.75 was the price. Let's see if this thing can break down. There it goes. Beautiful. All right, guys, I'm out. 925 exit price, 925 exit price. Quick little win. I will take it and run. $500 to start the day. I'm going to take that. Just quickly take my money, run, take my money, run. That's the feedback from yesterday, right? We had a bunch of trades that went to like $400 or $500. Stalled. I'm taking my wins and I'm running. Happy with that. Very quick little trade, but a nice little win to start the session off. If this thing sinks back up, we'll have another chance to enter. No big deal, but I'm pretty happy with that. That worked out well. Nice work, Sean. Let's go. All right, good start, team. Good start. And again, I could have maybe held out for longer. What I'm trying to do here is just take my wins, right? Take my wins, take my wins, take my wins. No greedy bullshit. Good job, team. Good job. And yeah, that came pretty quick, so I didn't have a chance to write that out. So apologies. But great to see everyone else caught it as well. Fantastic, guys. Great start to the morning. Nice work, Don. All right, good job, team. Good start. Good first trade. Nice work, Harv. Yeah, I mean, look, maybe left 10 points on the table, whatever. It's fine. I don't care about that. I'm going to control my variables well. Taking a run. Let's go, Mike. Awesome. Win's a win, and they add up quick. I think the hard thing sometimes is you want the market to give you more follow through, and you get like a little bit of hope that it's going to happen, and then it stalls, right? So we closed at 925. Right now, price is 930. Maybe we could have, closed at 912 or something along those lines. But I will take profit really quick because I think that's what the market environment is dictating. This is not a market that's rewarding huge, massive follow through. It's rewarding taking our quick points. I'll take that all day long. Happy days. And that kind of alleviates a lot of pressure too, right? Now we can be very patient. We can afford to sit and wait. We can wait for things to be perfect. Well, I think, Harv, it's about understanding that trading is a game of probabilities, right? The gambler needs the win on the next card or the next hand, right? Where the trader needs the win 100 hands from now. Yeah, I did say short multiple times. I did say short multiple times. So we did. The other thing that you can visualize, right, is when I map out my chart, my stop loss, right, is always going to be my red line. So if the red line's on top, it's a short. If it's on the bottom, it's a long. But I did say short 3 or 4 times before talking about that direction. I said we have a short setup coming together. I have a setup here to the downside, and everything is visualized. So we should be able to put together those clues. I'm going to be able to say as many words as I can before I enter a trade. But I said those words, right? So it's not me calling it out that you missed. It's your, I don't know, whatever reason you didn't hear the terminology you were looking for. But there's like 6 ways that I identified that it's a long or a short. So got to be aware of them because I can only account for so many variables here, guys. And CL may be setting up here to the upside. I would say I'm less enthusiastic about crude. My objective, guys, when I call out my trades is not to be ambiguous, right? Because if I'm ambiguous, you guys can't make money. So unlike other trading rooms, my objective here is to tell you exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing it. I think I do a pretty good job of that. So please, guys, let's make sure, right? And again, feel pretty good about that decision. Didn't get greedy. I'll take it. Nice little win to start the day. Oh yeah, I have no doubts that I called out that trade in an appropriate fashion. I just want to make sure everyone has the information they need and for them to understand, right, basically what they're seeing. Because on that trade, yeah, I did call it out the way as expected. But you know what? There will be a trade at some point where maybe I don't, right? So all part of it. Yeah, I just didn't have the time. I didn't have the time. Well, hopefully you made some money on that, Jeanette. I trade 3 tickers. I trade ES, NQ, and CL. Primarily NQ. NQ is my favorite. So I just search and try to see which scenario is giving me the best look, right? That's really all it is I'm looking at whatever one I think is giving me the best volume profile or the best story that I can fall in love with. And theoretically, this is a reversal scenario here. Have any 10 a.m. data today? No. 57 to 48. I mean, it's very, very possible here as well for early green to red. So I just want to watch this for a second. Yeah, and this would now be a long, right? This would now be a long. My green candle here is my confirmation of a move here to the upside. And so be looking at a 947 stop loss. I'm being pretty patient here, guys. I'm being pretty patient. I'm not sure if I've seen the enthusiasm I want here yet, or maybe the better phrasing here is I don't think that I've been watching this this price action prior to the last 45 seconds with the view of is this strong or not. So would want to now watch this move, right? Basically make sure I'm not getting chopped out on some bullshit and just buy myself a bit of extra time to make a decision. I am probably a little bit hyper paranoid there of still being fake out heavy PA. Now we're looking at a 44. So we already checked that pre-market, right? We've got nothing after 10 a.m. I don't know. Sounds like you might have missed all of our pre-market prep. But we do check that before the session starts. So, okay, I'm going to stay away from this for now. Not giving me the behavior that I maybe expected. Stop would have to be 940. I don't know if I like that too much yet. So we'll possibly now be looking at this again here. So 947 again. So same spot we had last time. And now we're looking for a gentle pullback into 58 or better. 59. Let's watch here closely. Be patient here. Be patient. Okay, there's your support. So looking for an entry here, guys. Long. Oh, I didn't get a fill. Fuck. Just missed my fill. I tried to get 56.50. Just missed it. That's annoying. I'm not going to chase it, right? Not going to chase it. Missed my fill. Not the end of the world. It happens. If it's strong, it'll set up again. So 945 would be the stop loss. Nice work. It's annoying we missed that, but it was the right idea. Let's see if we can get some smooth action here. So all we're looking for here now is try to get a tight risk reward ratio, right? That's really all I'm looking for here. Okay, so we're looking at a 972 stop loss. Well, just 970, keep it simple, see if it finds some support. Okay. I'm watching here again, team. I am watching here again. I can go maybe 3 contracts this time. Just be patient. Okay, not the right reaction, so we're going to wait. Now it would be 963. All right, guys, I am in long. Oh, one sec. In long 973, kind of a terrible fill price. Stop loss 963, 2 contracts. I might get stopped out here instantly. Yeah, I'm out. I knew that one right away. Yeah, potentially try this again. 961 would be the stop now. Okay, so let's wait for this candle to close. 3 seconds. Again, might be able to get a tight risk reward ratio to justify this. Okay, so again, you're looking now at a 969 stop. I mean, I am back in, guys, but this thing bumped right away, instantly flew. So I'm going to be closing this. Again, I'm going to try again. Okay, so 2 for 3 on the day here so far, up 437.40. Kind of a greasy start to the day. That little fake out drove me nuts. Let's try this again potentially here. You're looking at a 969 stop loss. 969. Let's see if this thing finds support. And be patient here, not in a rush. Okay, so now you're looking at a 963 stop loss. 965. Okay, so back in business, watching 965. And 15 points of risk, right, is one contract, right? One contract. Okay, guys, I'm in long 977.50. 977.50. Got shaken out there. Yeah, Austin, there's a lot of videos already in the Discord over my order entry procedure. I do feel like I talk about this every single day. I set my limit price to be the blue line, and then I'm looking to buy a discount relative to that. So there's like 10 videos in the Discord that break down that process in detail. Don't look for something that isn't there. I do the same thing every single time. Like in the how to trade with DTR section, I break down that in a lot of detail. Right? So for me, I'm building my position sizing off of my blue line, the difference between the blue line and the red line. So I have to get an entry at blue line or better, right? I have to. So the only way for me to ensure that I can do that is by using a limit order price at that blue line. So if I click submit under, it's going to get me a fill up until. If I use a market order, it'll allow me to get an execution above, which I don't want. Little bit of a divergence between ES and NQ, right? Which one's going to hold? Yeah, guys, I do the same thing on every single order, right? The whole point of your execution is you do the same thing every single time because you build up muscle memory over entering trades and you avoid silly mistakes, right? So, really important, right, that we understand our own execution flow. It's going to save you a lot of money and a lot of stress and a lot of heartache. I'm out of this trade. I've been out of this trade for a while. Is that strong enough rejection on CL? Could be. Still feel like NQ to the upside's the better play. Oh, this is very tempting. I just love them. Too, and the trend is probably down. So here, right, my process. First thing I'm typing in my order window is 62.67. Second thing I'm typing in is 62.72. And then I'm figuring out my position sizing based on that number, right? So it's 5 cents of risk on that position. I'd be going 10 contracts, right? It's the same thing every single time. So get that muscle memory going here, guys, because I shouldn't have to explain it on every single trade because it's the same thing on every single trade. All right, so it's that same process every single time. Get your muscle memory down. Okay, so watch around 24,000. This is going to be an interesting little breakout spot for it. CL to the downside. 62.65 would be the stop. Reference price would be 62.60. That's really interesting. You do that as well on the 5. See if this thing closes up and over. Technically a breakout here. Would be interesting. Would want to probably use the aggressive here versus pull back. I'd like to see 24,000 act as support. Okay. And we'd be looking like something like this, right? So 23,993 would be the stop loss. And we'd be looking at 11 points of risk here. So 2 contracts potentially. Okay, good decision to wait. Yeah, CL maybe would have been the better trade. Focus on a little bit by the looks of it. Nice work, Greg. Let's go. Huge day. Congratulations. I mean, this would have been a stall out candle here. Fine. Kind of looks like a rejection. But I don't like how it couldn't close under the opening range, just like a little fake out under. That probably slows me down here just a little bit, right? I might just have to sit on what I'm on right now, boring as that is. Feel a little bit like price is moving a little bit of molasses. I can't really say I've seen like a huge amount of enthusiasm here. At least not yet. Nvidia's cracking. That might really push indexes down with it. There's been a lack of enthusiasm a little bit, maybe. All right, so we're watching now for a possible rejection here, right? 5 min would be the signal we're looking for. And again, it'd be an NQ, it'd be targeting low of day, so about a one handle move. And this would be a short, guys, right? This would now be a short signal that we're looking for. So here's your rejection or your fake out. Here's your confirmation. Here's your target. Again, I'd just be targeting 900. Just keep the round numbers round. All right, and again, we're looking probably for the aggressive technique. Let's see if this thing breaks. Oh, stop loss would be, well, for now it might change. Sounds good, man. Yeah, I guess I theoretically could use the pullback technique here, but I'd prefer not to. 967.50 would be the stop loss for now. 9.5. Short, right? We're looking at a short. Okay, so 967 stop. Okay, and now watching for a gentle pullback here, guys. Now watching for a gentle pullback with 2 contracts. Oh, I might have just missed it. Here we go. Let's watch. Be patient here now. Be patient. Sweet, guys. So I am in 956 short. There's your retest. 956 short. Let's see if this thing can crack. Two contracts. Stop at 967. Took the loss, minus 370. Nasty little fake. Hmm. The whipsaw. Really annoying. Oh. Again, this could be setting back up here for a little downside after a shake and fake. Let's see how this thing closes, and we'll be looking for an aggressive technique here, right? Lower low, lower high. Doesn't change my plan, just a bit unlucky with the timing. Quite unlucky with the timing. You know, we want a tight risk reward ratio here. So 953 stop, right? 953 stop. 953 short, guys, right? This would be a short again. Oh, stop would be higher. So now it would be 956. Again, maybe higher. Oh, it's doing this bullshit again. Can't really see it pull back much more than this. Okay, so 961 would be the stop. Can't really pull any higher. Okay, there it is. So no dice. Then really the only other stop I'd be interested in would be at high a day. But it's just deja vu to what this 1015 candle did. It's doing the exact same thing. I could try maybe now a 968 stop loss. That'd be pretty creative. It is a little bit dirty. Very much deja vu here. All right, guys. I am in short. Again, instant green. 957.25. 957.25. That thing dumped instantly on entry. There's the retest. 957.25. 57.25. Two cons. Kind of chased it. All right, guys, I'm out. I'm out. I think this is going to stop me out. I've closed this trade. 963 close, 963 close. I'm out. Okay, was the right decision. I'd rather take a $200 loss than a $500 loss. Not quite what I expected to happen there. One trade up, one trade down, one trade up, one trade down. 75.11 on the day. I about cut my loss in half there. That's not too bad. Nice work. How's everyone's P&L? Everyone green? Nice work, Mikey. Good job, Leia. At least I've won one trade away. Like we shouldn't. No one should be down like $2,000, right? Surely. Okay. Fine. The divergence between ES and NQ is kind of bothering me a little bit. Nice work, Harv. Beautiful. So guys, there's a lot of discrepancy there in what the number should be, right? So I'm seeing, right, based on your guys' feedback, there's a lot of slippage in your guys' execution there. We shouldn't be down 500. We shouldn't be down 450. We should not be down 809. Need to control your variables a little bit better there. You should be plus or minus 200 either side. That should be about where you're at. Anywhere significantly outside of that is very significant execution slippage. So we got to be a little bit sharper there, team. When things are choppy, we have to be aggressive in how we're managing it because those differences add up very quickly. And 2 or 3 points here, 2 or 3 points there make a very big difference. So don't like to see those numbers. Those are much larger than they should be. Guys, I can't believe I'm having to do this. Right? Mike, are you watching? This is for you. This is ridiculous. If you enter a trade, I'm just gonna do a market order, right? You're in a position. Just paper trade, guys. It's a bullshit trade. Doesn't count for anything. You have 2 ways of closing this trade now. You can either hit this X and get out, or you can set up a sell order, right? The opposite side of the trade that you took. If we can't figure this out, guys, the fuck are we doing? Like, seriously, this is so easy. I cannot believe I have to explain this. Guys, need to control the variables we can't control. If you're taking a trade and you do not know how to enter or exit the position, don't then come to me and hope that I'm going to be able to bail you out, right? It's truly ridiculous. Good man, Hunter. Good man. Guys, too much sloppy execution here today, and too many people messaging me all at once about their sloppy execution. Take care of your variables, guys. Come on. Cannot bail you out with bullshit like that. It's infuriating. We're taking trades and we're not prepared or we don't know how to execute. You are begging to lose money. And then you're going to come and blame me for losing you money on a trade? Like, come on. Be prepared. It's not hard. Okay, we're looking for an upside play here, right? Upside, long. $23,998 stop loss. Reference price, $24.07. 2 contracts. Okay, guys, I am in. Average price 24.07 on the dot. 24.07 on the dot. See if we can go here. Come on, let's see if we can go. Keeps hitting 07 and then stalling. So let's see if we can push here. There it goes. All right, let's see if this thing can keep pushing now. Even keep pushing. Even keep pushing. Keep going. Keep going. Don't want it to stall out here. It's got to fly, right? We're trying to play this as a catch-up narrative to ES. So it's got to show us that enthusiasm here, right? It's got to show us that enthusiasm. Okay, so far so good here, right? If you were responsible with your position sizing throughout the session, you are now for sure green on the day. Let's see if this thing can keep pushing here, guys. Let's see if this thing can keep pushing. Want to see it get through 20, right? Kind of the resistance probably in the way now. Hey guys, I am out. I am out. Don't like that pullback. I'd rather get impartial, closed at 0875, so like 50 bucks. I'd rather get impartial here and try this again. Did not like that little fake out reaction. We'll try this again. We could do maybe this. So it would be 2405 stop. Okay. And now we want to see a gentle pullback here. Gentle pullback. Okay, sweet. I'm back in 24, 12, 50, 3 contracts. And the stop loss is at 05. Stalling maybe just a little bit too much. Push, baby, push. Hey, there it goes. There it goes. Keep following through here now. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, jinxed it. Fuck me. Okay, guys, I am out. Close price 1775, 1775. So stack up another little win, right? Stack up another little win. This is why, guys, I'm stressing the importance of execution here so much, right? Because on days like today where it's choppy, this is the huge difference. If you're going to be sloppy in your execution, you're going to be sloppy in your details, you are going to get absolutely slaughtered. And what a decision to get out where we did, right? What a decision. We nailed that. Right? So not every day is going to have to be beautiful, but that win was worth $315. So now I'm sitting on a little bit over $400 here on the day. And no one should be down 1,500, 2K, anything along those lines. That makes no sense. You got to be more responsible, guys, with our execution. It drives me up the fucking wall. Because it's the most basic and simple variable for us to control. And when we choose to ignore it, only bad things happen. It's not worth it. Simply isn't worth it. So, cannot stress that enough. What was your position sizing on that one, Ghost? Should have been more than just $100. And what was your entry price and exit? And do you know why? When I knew that trade was wrong, right? When I said I jinxed it, you know why I knew that? Is because it made a higher high. It broke out, give higher high, and then it pulled back and retested our entry price. That's not the move you'd like to see, right? So when you see that breakout, you see the move start to happen, it stalls, fails, and then retest your entry, you got to get out. You got to take your first chance of P&L being back up above your entry price and get out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm always pretty communicative over what I'm trying to do. We play a short here. I don't think that's a good enough candle shape. I would be very interested though. Otherwise, maybe if this 3-min closed under 24,000, but I've now seen it act as support once, twice, 3 times, possibly 4 times. So I would need to see that crack and break down before I could be short. Oh, I appreciate you saying that. What I will say, guys, right? Trading is far too competitive of a way to make a living for us to not take it seriously, right? So, the reason why I think I get so animated about these things is because I know how easy it is to basically just do basic preparation, to basically just show up and control the variables we can't control. I know how easy that is. It's not hard. It's as hard as anything else you're going to do it in life. It's as easy as anything else you're going to do in life. It's no worse or no better. So we make these like huge impasses in our heads and we screw ourselves over and we get greedy and we get emotional and we get whatever and we make bad decisions and we end up losing 10 times more money than we should from a completely avoidable process. And so when I have people messaging me about a trade 30 minutes after we've closed it, saying they don't know how to close it and they're down this amount of money, drives me insane because that's such a avoidable loss. It's pure greed that puts you in that situation. To the point where you got so clouded in your vision that you were unwilling to even Google search how to close a trade. So it's like, how bad do you really want it, right? I don't know. But each day shouldn't have to feel as if it's like a make or break moment, right? Or like this day has to be perfect or I'm screwed. And so I really struggle with that. I really struggle to comprehend it. All right, let's see how this closes here to the downside. We might be having an opportunity there. Ideally closing under 980. Not a great close. I'm going to wait. Interesting here. Guys, we're back to watching here potentially. And like honestly, you just need to spend one afternoon, one day, just placing a bunch of fake trades. Okay, here's how I set my stop loss. Here's how I take profit. Here's how I take partials, and just play around, right? You have all this time to do basically risk-free execution outside of our stream hours. People don't want to do that practice, right? So I'm not saying that you don't want to. You clearly have the right mindset and the right attitude. Well, like showing up is not enough. Just showing up is not enough. Like I say this all the time, right? But trading is not my job, right? Trading isn't. Trading is the way that I prove to myself that I'm doing my job well. So, my job as a trader is to study my past trades, to review the market, to practice my execution, to learn from my mistakes, right? To notice the patterns that are costing me money. Trading is how I collect data. I think everyone thinks, "Oh, my job is a trader, so all I'm going to do is trade, and all I'm going to do is put all my effort into trading." And they don't make any money because they're not being deliberate in their learning curve. And yeah, I only trade for maybe 90 minutes to 2 hours a day. But I spend just as much time as I spend trading, quote unquote, as I do reviewing what I was doing, right? Of studying what I could have done better, of learning from my mistakes, of reading books that help me expand my knowledge. Not just showing up here every day, guys, and being a grumpy prick. It's like Tom Brady didn't win a bunch of Super Bowls because he played in a bunch of them. He won a bunch of Super Bowls because he out-prepared, outworked, and out understood what defenses were going to do better than they knew what they were going to do. So all that time he put in practice of being deliberate, of watching tape, of reviewing his mistakes, of fixing his technique is what made him a Super Bowl champion 6 times over. Like in any field, showing up is not enough. Yet for people when it comes to trading, because there's the lure of being able to make fast money, they think that it is. And it is truly a waste of your time, my time, and your money to behave that way. It's insulting. It's so disrespectful to the market because the market can give us anything we want out of our lives. It creates this tremendous amount of potential, but we choose to spit in its face by not being prepared, by not caring, by thinking this time is going to be different. Well, I promise you, this time won't be different. It'll be the same and it'll be the same and it'll be the same until you lose all your money and you're forced to quit. So you have to be more deliberate. I can't stress that enough. Fuck, like I'm up a nice amount of money here on the day and it feels like a loss. Ridiculous. Really and utterly ridiculous. But it's just the reality in anything, Kathy, right? So any group can make you a profitable trader, right? There, all the information like you need. There's a million different ways to win, but most people ignore. Like my favorite saying uh, is, "If I want to be a profitable trader, I can lie to everyone but myself." Right? You guys have all, I'm sure, heard me say that multiple times here, and that's the thing. People just show up and they lie to themselves over what they actually need to fix to be a profitable trader. And when markets are choppy and things are bouncy like they are right now, if your variables, if your little details aren't sharp, you don't stand a chance, right? Because the market's going to make you emotional. It's going to spit you out. It's going to chew you out. It's going to do all these terrible things. And instead of you getting better, you're just going to keep hoping that, hey, tomorrow's going to be different. The market's going to change. I'm going to be rewarded all of a sudden. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. Look, guys, just this is the last thing here before I go, because I'm not going to place another trade. No one can want this more for you than you want it yourself. And the way that you show how much you want it is with your actions, not your words. Right? So I can't want you to be profitable more than you want to be profitable. Tony can't want Kathy to be more profitable than Kathy wants to be profitable. We have to want this for ourselves. Because no one else is coming to save you. No one else is coming and giving you a lottery ticket win. No one is going to do the hard work that you're avoiding, right, for you. You just have to do it. And I can't comprehend why you wouldn't want to do it, right? I can't comprehend that, which is where my frustration comes from. But yeah, I would really recommend everyone have an honest conversation with themselves today over what they actually want out of the market, and do their actions match their beliefs, right? Or their desires, and find the differences, right? Because the more aware you are of how you're making mistakes or how you're losing money or where you're fucking up, easier it is to avoid that in the future. Easier it is to start to become aware of your bottlenecks. You can start to fix them. Yeah, guys, showing up is not enough. And I don't have the mental capital or the energy to pretend that that doesn't bother me, because it does. It really does. I I'm a big believer that uh doing the work that we should do as a trader is just a form of self-love. I'm doing what is best for me in the future, not necessarily what's best for me right now. And I'm doing it because I love myself and I want the best for myself. And I've said this before, right? But every trade I take, I am being extremely selfish in that trade, right? I'm taking it because I think it's the best trade for me in my account in that moment. When I exit trades, right? It's the same thing, right? I'm doing because I think it's the best for me, not because it's the best for Leia or for Tony or for Nicholas. So you also need to be just as selfish there, right? Do what is best for you. And what is best for you is not just showing up, not just hoping that Michael's going to be sharp today. Not enough. Yeah, words are empty. Honestly, they mean fuck all. All right, guys. Any questions? I'm done ranting and raving. I'm tired. So, guys, I'm not going to complain, right? My life is good. Okay. Like, I have a lot of freedom. I can say no to things, but I am very invested in your guys' success. And I also know what it takes. So, when I see people not doing those things, not controlling those variables, and wasting their time, it's it's a sinking feeling, right? So you all have to choose. I can only care so much, but eventually it'll get to the point, right, where I'm gonna have to be selfish and I'm just gonna stop caring. I'm gonna stop offering one-on-one calls. I'm gonna stop offering trade feedback. I'm gonna stop doing all these things because people don't care enough to actually use those resources anyway, right? Like, I don't know how else I can make it easier for you guys to want to get better and to learn and to improve. And if we're not going to use those tools or those resources, I'm going to stop offering them and save myself a tremendous amount of time. So, up to you guys, right? I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to stop trading. I'm not going to stop streaming. I'm not going to do any of these sort of things. But if you guys aren't going to meet me halfway with the intensity that's required to make money trading every single day, then I'm not going to give and waste my time, right? Trying to help plug in the gaps for you. That's also not worth it or fair. Oh, just a warning for everyone. I don't expect perfection. I don't expect you guys even to be friendly. I expect you to care enough to do the work or to get feedback or to ask questions or to do whatever and to not waste your time. All right, guys. So I'll see you tomorrow. Nice green day here. Nice little bounce back session. My gosh, guys, we complicate things here today more than we needed to. No, I'm not talking about anyone new here. I'm talking about everyone in general. Believe it or not, right? I do have the context to understand when someone joined and where they should be at in their process, right? I do understand this. Right? And I am flexible to work with those people to get them up to speed to make sure that they're doing the work that they're doing. Right? So I'm not holding being new against anyone. I'm not punishing anyone for being new. So, any other questions here, guys? Final call for questions, guys. Final call. All right. See you guys tomorrow.